So I have plenty of screen I can cut up. That's not a problem. I bought it at Joann's. So that will work out great. And that will stop the fish from digging, and that will last forever, ever. It's not even going to have a problem with that deteriorating. So the first thing we have to do is prepare the case here to house the fish. Like I said, I already had it, so I don't need to go out and buy anything to hold the fish in. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. So temporary, make an aquarium, and they're only going to be in here a few days. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I drilled some pilot holes in the top with a step drill. That's the easiest way to drill something like that, where your drill won't catch and grab and be forced in the top. And I get my jigsaw there, and I will use that to cut the top open. It should be relatively easy. It shouldn't be any big, huge problems I should run into. So let's hurry up and get that done. Okay, the next step I did is I took an old piece of sandpaper and went around the edges. Just make sure, get all the stuff out. Going to take the plastic out, clean it up, and that's about it. Now you have the center bar that will hold the tank together, yet you can get inside of it to feed the fish and take care of it. This would make a great holding tank. Let's say you're going to buy fish, you don't want to buy a new tank. Something like this can make a temporary hospital tank, holding tank for your fish. So let me get this all cleaned up, and we will be ready to go to put it out in the lanai and start transferring fish over into it. Okay, so this project here took me all of, I'm going to say, 10 minutes. You know, like I said, you don't have to be super accurate with anything. This is only a temporary container. I mean, yeah, if I was going to constantly be using it, I would have done a better job. Okay. Like I said, I lightly sanded it so to get off the plastic, but I'm only going to use it this once. And this container will probably be never used again for, well, it's never been used in 4 years. So it's a temporary container. This clamps down. Now, as the water comes in, pushes out, the lid will hold it in place, and you can still feed your fish, take care of them. So it's a quick temporary housing for the fish. Like I said, they're only going to be in here for 2 or 3 days max. By then, the aquarium will be completely done. Well, here's the container. It's out on the lanai. It's filling up with water. I'm just letting the water drain out from the canister filter, the inlet, and it's just draining right into here. So all the water is already the right temperature. It's acclimated. I don't need to use any dechlor. And this should be it. All I have to do is wait for the container to fill up. But it's very little work. And in case this ever happens to you, I turned the canister filter on, and the canister filter is literally filling up the container, using that as a pump to fill the container up. And within a few minutes, this container will be filled. I'll be able to put some gravel in it, the wood in it, and the fish in it. Pretty easy. I mean, it can't get any simpler than this. Okay, so here is the fish tank. I wanted to show you something. Look at that. The round balls in there are the Eheim substrate. Look how clean they look. These are all at the bottom of the plenum. And they look as good as the day when they were brand new. There's no dirt on them, no clogging up, nothing. One thing I noticed with cleaning out the tank is there was no black substrate. Not at all. There was a few roots going through the plenum through the plenum, okay, but roots like this, these little ones, these are from the bamboo, these roots. But I wanted to show you that after sitting for 2 years, look at this, look at those balls. They look like brand new, like I just put them out of the box. And I did not find any blackening of the substrate at all. But as you can see, if I take this, look at how fine the sand is. Look at that. Here's the ball from the E-Heim. But look at that, how clean they are. It almost looks like you cleaned them. So like I was saying, there was nothing that got through as far as dirt. And this is 2 years of sitting there. Look at that. Look at how that sand, how small it is and how it compact in there. Now I do understand it. Sand is very cheap, but you know, I wonder how this would have reacted being that thick if these balls would be like this, if they would be this clean. So you know fluids were moving underneath it because we didn't have any blackening of the soil. Anyhow, I thought I'd bring that up. And the plenum itself is in great shape. Great shape. Like I said, it had some roots going through it, but that didn't bother it. You know, that was from the plants. Other than that, no problems at all. It for a 2-year-old, it looks like brand new. So here's the plenum. I pulled it out, cleaned it. As you can see, it's all open. This is the one that you buy off of Amazon. So what I'm going to do is just reuse it. I'll clean out the tubing here. I'll clean that out. And I washed it down, and no problem at all. And this is screen. This is just nothing but window screen that I put on top of it. And look how well it held up after 2 years. Looks brand new. No holes, no rotting away, no deterioration. And of course, this is your glue, your hot glue gun glue. It weathered out real good. And of course, I have the screen on the sides. I don't know if you can see that, but the screen's on the side. And it did very good. No problems at all. And that's after 2 years. Okay, so this is all kitty litter. Nothing else. So the plenum comes about here. So you got at least, I would say 1.5 inches of just kitty litter. And this is going to be topped off with a stone, the flugel, but we're not going to allow the fish to dig in it. Okay, for the 40-gallon aquarium, here's the sheet. You would need 3 sheets for a 40-gallon aquarium. And this is what it looks like. Now on top of this, I will place the flugel to make it cosmetically look nice, and I'm done. Okay, So this is just one bag, 15 pounds. And as you can see, you can still see how it's leaching out. Basically like kitty litter. You can only clean it so much. And it may look like it's running clean, but still. Now I've used this, and after a year or two, it stops leaching. Okay, you don't have this anymore. Because I used it, like I said, 15, 20 years ago. And I had that substrate in my antique aquarium. And like I said, once it gets old and you use it, you don't seem to have a problem anymore with it leaching like this. So this is just the initial, setup that you're going to have some of that leaching. So this gives you an idea. Now that's not very thick at all. This is extremely thin. I would say in some parts it could be a quarter of an inch, maybe even less. And in other parts it could be as much as a half inch. What you see here, if you pack it down next to the glass, you got maybe, look at this, how thin that is. Maybe a quarter of an inch. Here, maybe you have half an inch, maybe 7/8 of an inch. But to plant plants in it, no. I'm going to say it's not thick enough. You're going to need at 15, at what is it, $20 to $30 a bag for this, depending on where you buy it. You're going to need a lot of bags because your substrate has to be deep enough to let your plants root grow. And if it's not, it's no good. So I have to wait on the other bags so I can put them in there. I think I ordered 3 bags altogether, or 2 bags. So we'll see how that does. And then over time, this will mix with the kitty litter. But yes, the kitty litter is softer. Okay, if you need to use iron, this is what I use, pond flourish iron. You can get this on the internet. I've been using this for past 20, 30 years. And it comes in like a half-gallon container. It's not that expensive, really, compared to the small bottles of Flourish iron. So anyhow, that's it for this video. I did not have to use any iron because the substrate that I'm using, the fluorite, Chem fluorite, has enough iron in it, so therefore I didn't have to really use any of this iron here. But this is the iron I put into my aquariums when I want to add more iron to it, and this is what I use. So you can find it on the internet, and it works. But that's it for this video. Until next time, happy fish keeping, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.